Remember, being happy doesn't mean you have it all. It never has, and it never will. Happiness is not the prize at the end of a perfect life, nor is it a checklist we complete once everything falls magically into place. Happiness is quieter, simpler, and far more resilient than we often give it credit for. It lives in the spaces we overlook, the moments we undervalue, and the parts of our lives that don't always look grand from the outside. In a world where countless voices shout that happiness is something we must earn, something we must achieve, or something we can only feel when everything is finally right, it's easy to forget what it truly means. We are taught from a young age that happiness comes from having more success, more money, more love, more approval, more things. We grow up believing that life is a race to accumulate achievements, possessions, or milestones, as if joy sits naturally at the finish line. But the truth is far gentler. Happiness rarely waits for perfection. It doesn't demand flawless circumstances or a life without difficulties. It doesn't require the absence of pain, disappointment, or uncertainty. Happiness often appears not when everything is complete, but when we learn to recognize the beauty in what we already hold. The myth of having it all. Having it all is an illusion, a mirage, shaped by comparison, expectation, and the pressure to perform. The phrase suggests that life can reach a state of total fulfillment where nothing is missing. But no matter how much we accomplish, there will always be more goals to chase, more desires to satisfy, and more imperfections to notice. Life is not designed to be completed. It's designed to be experienced. If we base our happiness on the idea that only a perfect life is worthy of joy, then we set ourselves up for lifelong disappointment. We will constantly feel behind, constantly feel inadequate, constantly feel like happiness is something we haven't earned yet. But the truth is, even people who appear to have it all don't actually have it all. They have different struggles, some visible, some private, some deeply emotional. Nobody's life is free of hardship. Nobody walks through life untouched by pain, confusion, or longing. To be human is to live with complexity, and within that complexity, happiness must also find its place. Happiness in imperfection. Real happiness is not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about noticing the small gifts that fill your days, the way the morning light enters your room, the warmth of a familiar voice, the comfort of a routine you've created, the smile you didn't expect, the little bit of progress you made today, even if no one else saw it. Joy is hidden in the places most people rush past. Often, it takes slowing down to see it. Happiness grows from gratitude, but gratitude doesn't require extraordinary things. It grows from recognizing that even ordinary things have extraordinary impact. A moment of clarity, a gesture of kindness, a quiet evening, a breath of peace. It comes from acknowledging that although you may not have everything you want, you have more than you realize. And in many cases, you have exactly what you need to take the next step forward. The role of struggle. Struggle is not the opposite of happiness. It is part of it. Our challenges shape our strength, our compassion, and our understanding of life. Without difficulty, there would be no resilience. Without loss, there would be no appreciation. Without uncertainty, there would be no growth. Happiness doesn't erase struggle. It coexists with it. It transforms it. It allows you to say, my life is not perfect, but there are still reasons to smile. And that simple truth, that joy can live beside difficulty, is one of the most powerful realizations a person can have. Chasing versus living. Many people spend their lives chasing happiness as if it is somewhere far away, hidden in their next achievement, their next relationship, their next purchase, their next milestone. They say to themselves, I'll be happy when? I'll be happy once. I'll be happy if. But the problem with postponing happiness is that life never stops moving. The moment you reach one milestone, the next one appears. The moment you achieve a goal, a bigger one rises. The moment something goes right, something else begins to demand attention. If you can't be happy until everything is perfect, you will spend your life waiting. But if you can be happy even when things are imperfect, you can carry joy with you through every stage, every moment, every version of yourself. Finding happiness in the present moment. Happiness is found not in having everything, but in being present enough to appreciate what you already have. The present moment, simple as it may be, holds countless gifts. The people who care about you, the memories that shaped you, the goals you're working towards, the lessons you've learned, the strength you've gained through adversity, the opportunities that still lie ahead, the ability to change, grow, and begin again. When you slow down enough to notice these things, life begins to look different. The pressure lessens, the comparisons quiet down, the constant feeling of not enough begins to fade. You start to realize that while you may not have everything, you have something. And that something is important, meaningful, and worthy of appreciation. The importance of perspective. Happiness is often a matter of perspective. Two people can live the same life, face the same circumstances, and experience the same challenges, yet one feels grateful while the other feels defeated. The difference is not in their situation, it's in their perspective. Perspective doesn't ignore hardship. It simply chooses not to let hardship overshadow everything else. It allows you to acknowledge your struggles without letting them consume you. It helps you see growth where others see difficulty, possibility where others see failure, and strength where others see weakness. Perspective is not about pretending everything is wonderful. It's about recognizing that life is complex, and within that complexity, there is always something to hold on to. Accepting life as it is. A major part of happiness is acceptance. Not giving up, not settling, but acknowledging reality with clarity and compassion. Acceptance means letting go of the idea that life must follow a specific script. It means releasing the pressure to be perfect, to please everyone, to meet every expectation placed upon you. It allows you to say, I am doing my best. My life is still unfolding. I don't need everything to be perfect right now. I can grow at my own pace. Acceptance doesn't stop you from wanting more. It simply allows you to appreciate what you have along the way. Gratitude as a foundation. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools for cultivating happiness. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present. It turns ordinary moments into meaningful ones. It reminds you that even on difficult days, there are still reasons to be thankful. Gratitude doesn't require big moments. In fact, it thrives in the small ones. A warm meal, a conversation that made you feel understood, a moment of laughter, a quiet evening, a breath of peace, the ability to start over, the progress you've made, the opportunities you still have. When you practice gratitude, you begin to notice how rich your life already is, even if you don't have everything. The freedom of letting go. A key part of happiness is learning what to release. Not every expectation is worth carrying. Not every desire leads to peace. Not every dream must be chased forever. Letting go of perfectionism, comparisons, unrealistic standards, or old narratives frees you to experience life more fully. It allows happiness to breathe. You stop measuring your life against someone else's. You stop comparing your chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 20. You stop believing that you are failing simply because you are still growing. You begin to understand that happiness comes from living authentically, not impressing anyone. The power of small joys. Life is built from small moments, and so is happiness. The sound of rain on the window. The feeling of fresh air. A hug from someone you trust. The satisfaction of finishing something. The hope of a new morning. The beauty of a quiet night. The relief of a deep breath. These moments may seem small, but together they build a life that feels meaningful. Happiness is not always loud or dramatic. Often it is subtle.
a soft warmth within your day. Growing through every stage of life. Happiness evolves as you do. What made you happy years ago may not be the same now, and what brings you joy today may change in the future. This is not a loss, it is growth. Each stage of your life reveals new forms of happiness: childhood wonder, teenage dreams, early adult independence, mature reflection, and the deep appreciation that comes with experience. Happiness expands, shifts, and transforms just like you do. Choosing happiness even when life is imperfect. The most empowering truth is this: happiness is a choice, not a constant state, not a guarantee, not a reward, but a choice. You choose to look for the good. You choose to appreciate the present. You choose to find meaning in your struggles.